Good morning, fish homies. What up? It is July 28th. It's not really morning, but it's Saturday at like 11 a.m. Finally got to sleep in a little bit. Finally got Saturday and Sunday off so I can do a little fishing. I was supposed to go fishing on a boat in the ocean with the homie, but I was a little too tired. So I think I'm gonna go fishing tonight with Chris. Maybe do a little carp fishing, try and get back on those big ones. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to head over to the local feed store and pick up some pigeon food, maybe some calf manna, and do a little pre-baiting tonight. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways, boys and girls, I know it's been a while. Well, I just put out a video, but before that, it was a couple weeks that I had a video come out. So I think now I'm gonna be back on track, getting back into videos, whether it be fishing, rig tying, showing you guys pre-baits, all that and much more. I just ordered some stuff from Big Carp Tackle, a new method of fishing. I can't wait to show you guys. Hopefully it works out. But anyways, peace out for now. I gotta get to the feed store. Alright guys, I just got here. It's pretty busy, so I'm not gonna film inside, but I'm at Boone's Feed Store in Compton. If you guys want feed or you like what you see here, come to Boone's Feed Store. They got everything and more that you need. I'll explain a little more later when I get everything, but I'm gonna head inside. Yeah, that was a mission success. Got some pigeon food, got 50 pounds, and I also got some hemp because they had that in stock too, so I got 10 pounds. That's a little more expensive, so I didn't get that much. It's like 90 bucks for a 50-pound bag there. You can get it for cheaper at some places, but it's not too cheap at this place, so I only got 10 pounds. But anyways, I will show you guys when I get back home. Gotta hop on the freeway. So I made it back home, and like I said, I got 50 pounds of pigeon food and about 10 pounds of raw hemp seed. So let me show you what that looks like here. This is the Boone's, the feed store I went to. This is like their house pigeon food. And let's see, inside there it has Milo, Canadian peas, wheat, maple peas, and Austrian peas. So it's a good mix of different things. You can see there's those little Canadian peas, I think, and there's some more in there and some grains. So when you boost this stuff, it becomes really strong and good, and it will keep the fish in the area for a long time. If you put boilies in there too, you might get some big ones coming in, or the big ones come in no matter what, but the boilies seem to keep them a lot better. And you know, boilies are just the best, but this pigeon food is honestly the second best thing I could recommend. I like to use it a lot. I haven't got it in a while. Alright, and this is what 10 pounds of hemp seed looks like. I spilled a little bit, but there you can see it's that raw hemp seed for you. Those are gallon freezer bags, just to give you an idea. There's like my hand. So you get a good amount, but obviously it's a lot cheaper just to get pigeon food. That was 20 bucks and that was 20 bucks. So this is like 10 times the price or something. But anyways, I usually do things a little bit different too. I usually cook the hemp seed separate, but today I'm feeling a little lazy, so I think I'm gonna mix the hemp and the pigeon food and cook them together. My rule of thumb is just cook everything for 40 minutes. For the pigeon food, you really only have to do for like 20 or 30. There's a lot of different guides online of how long you need to cook certain seeds and grains, but since hemp seed usually takes at least 40 minutes, I do that. And another thing is I add baking soda to that, like a teaspoon for the hemp when I make it, because that makes the hemp seed nice and black. But today I'm gonna mix it in with the pigeon food, obviously, so I'm still gonna throw that baking soda in there. Hopefully it turns black, but I don't know if it's gonna work as well with the mix, but who knows, I've never tried it before. Also, I'm gonna boost this pigeon food with a recipe that I usually use for boosting boilies, but I think it's gonna work great with this pigeon food slash hemp seed mix. So first point I want to make is don't do this in your parents' kitchen, or if you have a wife or a girlfriend that you live with and they like to keep the kitchen clean, because this is not the cleanest of methods. It's also easier if you do it outside. You can get like a big pot at like Goodwill or some like thrift store for really cheap, and cook it over the barbecue little grill thing. But anyways, first step you need is a pot. Obviously, like I was saying, usually grab the biggest pot in your kitchen, Mine isn't that big, as you can see, so I might have to do 2 batches. But yeah, that's the first thing you want to do. Second thing is you want to put your seed in there, obviously. So I'm going to scoop it out of there with a cup, and I'm going to try and do like 3/4 pigeon food and 1/4 hemp seed. One more thing is you want to fill this up with the seed only about halfway, because the seed's going to soak up the water and it's going to overflow on the top. You'll see, even maybe 1/4 of the way, just to start and see how that works. I think that's what I'm going to do, is like 1/4 or 1/3 of the way, because the bubbles come up really fast and they come over, and I don't want to ruin my mom's nice stove. Alright, so I ended up using 8 cups of pigeon food and 3 cups of hemp. So a little more hemp than 1/4, but I think that's gonna be real nice. Alright, so you can see when it's out of the bag, it has a nice assortment for the carp to pick through. It has these little guys in there, has these white little guys, so those kind of look like corn, and then it has these little small grains, and obviously we just added the hemp seed, so they are gonna love this stuff here. And like I said, you don't want to fill it all the way. You want to basically fill it like 1/3 of the way, and then put water like 2/3 of the way. So just make it like double the water of what you have in there. But you just want to make sure it doesn't boil over the top, because you're gonna leave it there for 40 minutes like I said. So you got to be careful there. And also I put it in the pot first just to measure it out. Obviously you have to boil the water first. You want to put it in there when it's boiling, so you get a true 40-minute boil. So another couple things I was thinking of adding, like I mentioned, first of all, was a teaspoon of the baking soda. I don't know if it's a teaspoon or a tablespoon, but I just put a little teaspoon, or maybe I put a tablespoon. I'll know when I get the little spoon out. But I just put a little teaspoon of that. And if it doesn't turn them black, then it's all good, but at least I tried. Also, another main ingredient I usually use is the red chili pepper flakes. And today I'm just gonna use a little bit, because I'm also gonna boost the bait with some other stuff. I just always like to have it a little spicy, because for some reason, the carp in the Southern California love it. I think they love it everywhere, to be honest. The chili hemp is one of the best baits out. Also, I don't know exactly what order you're supposed to do this in, but I just put it in while the water's boiling to make sure it's all absorbed in the water. Hopefully that's the right time, but you can wait until you add the seed to add these ingredients, I'm sure. And I just like to boil it first, and with the stuff in it, just like a little soup, a little concoction, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so for the red chili pepper flakes, I usually just throw these in the beginning, like I was saying. You kind of have to eyeball it too. There's no like exact amount. I just like to put a decent amount, like usually half can or something. So I'm about to put, this is 1.2 ounces, so I probably usually add like a ½ ounce or an ounce of this stuff every time. But today I'm not gonna add as much, maybe just like 1/4, because we're not making as much bait as I usually make. So there is that. Next up we have our baking soda. I'm just gonna put like half of this spoon in, not a full spoon. So next thing I do is give it a little stir, just to make sure everything's mixed in. I frequently stir this stuff as I'm cooking it, maybe 4 or 5 times, while the seed's in there as well, just to make sure all the seeds are getting soaked and all the seeds are getting the flavor in there. Now, while this is getting ready to boil, I'm gonna go upstairs and grab my other ingredients. So once your water's to a nice boil, get your timer ready, set it to 40 minutes, and dump in your seeds. So far so good, other than my nose running from the chili peppers like evaporating all over the kitchen. I'm gonna have to open the windows and stuff. But anyways, got my timer set to 40 minutes. Hopefully these turn nice and black from that baking soda, and they get a nice little smell from these chili peppers. Also, stay tuned to see the secret ingredients I'm adding to boost them up. So I turned down the flame a little bit, and you can really see the hemp seed actually did turn black, so that worked. And you can see the chili flakes in there. You can see the maple peas and the other kinds of grains and peas are in there. I forgot the names of them. But yeah, that looks really, really nice right there. You just want to make sure it stays bubbling. You don't want it just to be flat. But like I said, mix it every 5 or 10 minutes. And after 40 minutes, this will be ready to go. A way you can tell is the hemp seed will split open and a little white thing will pop out. That's how you know the hemp's ready. Everything else you can pretty much squeeze between your fingers and it'll squish. I'll show you that in a second, but yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Because if it's still really, really hard when you're done, then you want to boil it for a little more. But usually 40 minutes is the trick. All right, so you can see after 40 minutes of boiling, it almost soaked up all the water, and I did half water, half seed, so it does soak up a lot. I think I'm gonna remove the rest of this water and then show you guys how to juice this up. All right guys, my bad, I had to take a little lunch break, but I got the seeds transferred into a 5-gallon bucket. Now we're gonna get that out of the front yard. After removing the water, this is what we have left. Let's find a little seed here. All right, so it is still hot, I just figured out. But there you go, we have a little grain. And then you can see, well you can't see, but I can just smush it right between my fingers and it breaks up nice and easy. That's how you know your pigeon food is ready for bait. Let's see if I can find a little hemp seed. All right, and there you can see a little hemp seed. It's kind of split and that white thing's popping out. That's what you want to look for. Also, they squish easy in the fingers as well, but they do have a little bit of a harder shell, so that's why those have to cook for a little longer. But everything in there is nice and soft now. As you can see, it just breaks up in my fingers. And now we're going to add the juice. So, like from the earlier video, the video before this, we got some hemp oil. Yeah, that's gonna go in there, and this is gonna juice her up all nice. Next, we have the liver powder. This is gonna be a great booster, especially in the summertime. Well, pretty much any time, this is bomb. It's gonna put nice chemicals in the water the fish need, nice amounts of like, I don't even know, I always say I'm not a scientist, but it has like enzymes, proteins, yada, 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 yada. So, I don't have an exact amount of how much you're supposed to put in. You kind of just eyeball it. I like to put a lot though. Oh, my alarm's going off for some reason there. So what you want to do is open up your hemp oil. Now, we're going to just lather it up in there with a nice little spread of hemp oil. Then we're going to grab a spoon. So we're going to mix it up. So you go ahead and put a good amount in there. If you want to make sure all your seeds get coated. Oh, get a healthy coating of hemp oil on there. Next up, we're gonna do the same thing with the liver powder. I don't really think you can overdose this, obviously, but I'm just gonna put a nice little coating on the top. Then I'm gonna mix it in and put another little coating just to make sure that all the stuff on the bottom gets it as well. So when you put the oil first, then you put the powder, it's gonna help coat the seeds in the oil, and then it's gonna help the powder stick to the seeds through the oil as well. And then it's kinda gonna make like a little pasty stuff on the outside. So it's gonna stick on there nice and good. It should be PBA friendly, and this is gonna put a crazy signal in the water for the carp, a crazy flavor signal. You can also add flavors in here. Obviously, we put the red chili peppers, but you can put the stuff you make boilies with or whatever, and make it pretty much however you want. Don't be afraid to experiment with the pigeon food. They like it pretty much no matter what, so whatever you do to it, it's gonna probably be pretty good. It's about a gallon, probably a couple pounds, like 3 to 5 pounds of seed there, and that was basically from like 10 to 12 cups of material and a little bit of oil and hemp or liver powder. So hopefully this works out for us. We also obviously have a grip of hemp seed left, and we still have about 45 pounds of pigeon food left. So this is gonna get you through a lot of sessions. If you're going on a big weekend trip or a big week trip, like it was only 40 bucks for all this pre-bait, and that's definitely gonna last you. So get your stuff ready and get out there. Now that it's summer, the carp are gonna be looking for lots of food, so get your big bait beds out there and fish your high track pop-ups or whatever you want to fish over them. And hopefully tomorrow or tonight this works and you guys will see a nice little video. You can also use this as well in your PVA bags, or you can put this mix in your pack bait. Just throw a couple handfuls in there and that will help draw the fish down to your hook. It is almost 6 a.m. I think it's like 5:55 or something. The sun is just coming out and I'm on my way to Chris's house. We're going to a lake that we've been to before. It's not always the easiest fishing, but when the fish do bite, they're usually some pretty big ones. So if we get into them, it should be a good day. The weather cooled down a little bit. It's been like 100 degrees lately, but today it should only be 80. So hopefully that helps us out and we can snag a little bite. But anyways, I gotta concentrate on driving because I'm tired and it's early and don't want to crash because I want to go fishing. So peace out for now. We just got to the lake and look at this new toy Chris got. It's called a Brawly. How do you like it, Chris?
Sucks setting up for the first time.
Everything with carp fishing is like a huge learning curve, but these things are pretty sweet. Chris is like a big guy. How tall are you, 6'2" or something?
6'2".
Yeah, 6'2", and there's enough for 2 Chris's in there. And then you got the rods chilling right there, looking good. This is what it looks from the backside. It's basically just an umbrella mixed with a tent kinda. So in the summertime when you're too hot, this is a perfect investment. In the wintertime when it's freezing or raining, even better. I always talk about them bubbling up and stuff, but you can never really see it because the water's all cloudy, but I think you can see it there, right in the middle of the screen. Some bubbles are popping up like crazy. And you can tell it's a carp because they're moving to the left and moving to the right. So it's definitely not a turtle or anything, but pretty cool to see when you get here. All right, guys. Let my bait sit out there for over 2 hours. I was about to reel it in. We saw one jump and I said I'll have one more cigarette. Halfway through the cigarette, boom, hooked up. Fought crazy. It got snagged up out there. Had to let the bail out and let it take some line. It came out. Then it went straight for the reeds, got snagged again. Luckily I got it out after a nice fight. My arm is dead, but check it out. There you go. I don't know if it's gonna go 20, but it looks pretty nice. All right, guys. I don't know how heavy it is, but we're gonna find out right now. After a long morning of waiting, we saw one jump like I was saying, so I left it out there for a little longer, and we got this giant. It's not a giant, but 15.68. I don't know if you can see. So it's like 14 or 14 and a half pounds. Nice one though, after not catching them in a long time. All right, there we go, guys. Nice little 14 or 15 pounder after a long while of waiting. He's a feisty guy. Hopefully I don't drop him. He's probably got a little stuff on him. Sorry about that, but it's pretty hot, so we'll get him back in the water quick. Make sure he gets a nice little recovery. Boom. All right, guys, after like a month of no carp, finally got myself one. He's already ready to go. Oh, he's mellow now that he's back in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
It's nice that that water is finally clear.
I know. One more thing I can mention, guys, that I am using PVA bags and a lead clip, and it did get snagged, and as you can see, this came off and the lead came right off. So I don't know if the lead was still on there, if it would have stayed snagged or not, but all I know is I got it out of a snag and the lead is gone. So that might have actually helped. A lot of people say these are like a ploy to make money, but today it seems like it worked out quite nice. Chris just got out of here. It's like 90 degrees and 100% humidity, so we're dying. We're only gonna stay for a little more. It's like been a couple more hours without any bites, but Billy came, so we're gonna freaking I forgot what you call, like, stayed out, what's it called? Like,
Stick it out.
yeah, we're gonna stick her out for at least another hour or something. Hopefully we'll snag up on one. But it is hot, and I looked on the internet, no one else is catching carp either, so we'll see what happens though. Got one decent one out of there, huh? How you feeling, Bill?
I'm chilling right now. Loving this shade.
Yeah.
Got the cooler.
Yeah,
some,
Bill saved us with
cold
the
drinks.
Oh, me and Chris ran out of water after like 30 minutes of being here.
Had to come through with the reinforcements.
Oh, freaking thankful for Billy boy. Now we just gotta get another carp.
One more.
Alright, boys and girls. It was just a little too hot. You can probably see we're both sweating like crazy, but we're in the car in the air conditioning. You can probably hear it's full blast. We didn't get any more bites. It's just way too hot out there, I think. It's better for a night bite. We got one around 11 and that was about it. I think a little sweat's even dripping down my head. Oh man. But anyways guys, freaking peace out for now. Hope you liked the video and more to come.
See ya.